should find something to do to all this. I don't understand what is going on in this country. Huh? In fact, I want to call upon all our politicians. If you know that it's God Almighty that created you and created we Nigerians like you need to do good things for us because the masses are suffering.
The NNPCL says this increment follows the company's decision to discontinue its exclusive purchase agreement with Dangote Refinery. This allows other marketers to purchase petrol directly from the Dangote Refinery.
The money is very high for us to be continuing like this. It's very bad. Who can help the government want to help us to be doing for this way?
It's alarming and uncalled for. Keep changing prices within weeks. We have different prices within weeks. And I don't know how they want us to cope. And yet, the economy, the price of everything is skyrocketing. And I don't know how they want us to feel.
The situation seems unpalatable to many motorists who believe that there was no need for an increase as Nigeria is already an oil-producing nation and therefore we should tap into our resources to make life better for the citizens. They are also calling on the government to ensure that this doesn't increase further as to damage the already bad economy. Theophilus Elama, TVC News, Lagos.
Let's take you to Rivers State, where the police embarked on a show of force and confidence-building patrol to local government council secretariats that were affected by the violence earlier this week. The team of heavily armed tactical unit officers were led by the Commissioner of Police, Bala Mustafa. The patrol visited Port Harcourt, Obio Akpo, Emohua, and Ikwere local government areas. The aim of the operation is to assess the security, level of damage, and reassure the public of their safety. 3 months after the Supreme Court judgment granting full autonomy for local government, the judgment generated diverse reaction from Nigerians as state governments scheduled local government election. So far, at least 13 states have held council polls after the Supreme Court judgment in July. Today, Plateau State joined the list as residents exercise their franchise to elect local government chairmen and ward councillors. Senior reporter Phenom Joshua monitored the exercise and now reports.
Officially kick off at 8 in the morning. The officials of the state electoral body were on the ground to commence the process at the stipulated time. However, in some places, the smart card machine recorded some challenges that caused a delay in the process at some polling units. The peaceful conduct of residents before and during the exercise was highly commended by stakeholders in the state.
I'm glad I have just voted. The process is going on seamlessly, as you can see yourselves. And I'm sure that at the end of the day, God willing, the process is quite fast. In fact, faster than the beavers machine that we use in general elections. And I'm confident that before long, the long queue of voters will be cleared.
We also had very big challenge with the software that is installed in smartphones for the presiding officers to use. Most of the polling units, in fact, uncountable, complained about the malfunction of this software. And we had no option than to go back to Plasec. We sat with the EO and we have all entered into an agreement that people should vote using manual. And that's what is relieving the situation as at now. And quite a number of polling units, particularly in Wasi, have gone ahead to vote without the software.
Alhamdulillah, I have casted my vote in my polling unit at Jambar polling unit, precisely health center, and everything was peaceful before leaving the center to see things by myself. But so far, I have never seen any element of violence in the local government, in their constituency.
The exercise so far here in Plateau State is going on peacefully from the beginning to where we are at the moment. Residents, electorates across the state are called upon to maintain and sustain this effort in the interest of peace, progress of the state. Phenom Joshua, TVC News, Wasi.
Let's take a short break now, and when we return, it will be time to discuss the aftermath of Rivers local government election with my guest, Dr. Samuel Wanosike. Stay with us, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. Tonight, we step into the political theater of Rivers State as we replay the local government election of October 5th. For the faction loyal to the governor of Rivers State, Sin Fubara, it is a victory well fought and won. But for the faction loyal to former governor of Rivers State and FCT minister, Yesa Wike, the election is a failure. But in all of this, who is to be blamed? Joining me virtually for this conversation is former chairman of Ikwere local government area, Dr. Samuel Nwanosike. Good evening to you, Dr. Nwanosike. Thanks a lot for joining us on Politics Tonight this Wednesday.
For the opportunity of having me in your show.
Right. So the last 4 days in Rivers State have been eventful, dramatic, and for some others, interesting. I mean, no wonder they call it Rivers of Possibilities. Are you proud of all of these latest happenings in the state? These actions represent what a state like Rivers State should be known for. Talk about arson, explosions because of a local government election. How do you react to all these?
First of all, I want to say that I am far away in Cambridge. You can see that we're still on daylight, and I know in Nigeria, you guys are 5 hours ahead of us. I had to excuse myself from my classwork to come and join this program. It's unfortunate that we have a leader who took an oath of an office as a Christian. He held the Bible and swore to uphold the Constitution and to govern Rivers people by the rule of law, meaning he agreed that he will obey every court judgment, whether it favors him or not, and he will make sure the rule of law is followed to the letter, so that democracy and its tenets and the dividends of democracy will be accorded or given to the people of Rivers State. I feel terribly bad. I feel ashamed as a Rivers man. This is not the government we thought about when we all came to campaign for Governor Siminalayi Fubara. My friend, a man I went to university with, and a man that we saw as a humble and a gentle person who will do things in accordance with the law. But it's quite shocking how people change when they come into authorities and power. And in fact, it's unbelievable and unimaginable when I saw him on social media when he said he doesn't believe in the judgment of the Federal High Court, and that the judge is fraudulent, and that the IG is fraudulent, the Inspector General of Police, is fraudulent, and that he has taken enough of the Inspector General of Police, and that he doesn't need the police to conduct a local government election, and that he is going to produce his own security. We have seen clearly that these are issues he has made plans for unknown to Rivers people, that he has organized his own militia men, the popular Amama soldiers, who he has unleashed on the people of Rivers State, and they have done the damage that they had in mind to do. And the most shameful part is what happened in my local government council, that when I watched it, I lost appetite, I couldn't eat. Because I know what it took me and my followers and those that believed in my vision. When we came on board in the Ikwere local government in 2018, we met a local government that had trees growing inside offices, no roof. Everybody abandoned the council, overtaken by weeds. It was a farm route for the locals. But we decided to tighten our belts, and we made the sacrifice of not taking impress and allowance for 3 years, the entire first tenure, 2018, 2021. Every local government, Ikwere local government will tell you that we paid their sacrifice to build that secretariat to the envy of all. Today, that the governor had to go with dance group to go and supervise the arson committed by the...
Sorry, so kindly hold on. Let me stop you there, Dr. Wanosike. Are you directly accusing the governor of the aftermath of that election? Second, I mean, Nigerians are wondering, what is it about the local government election that should have escalated to the point of massive destruction of this magnitude? And I know the governor was clear. He says there is an existing judgment by the apex court mandating that compliance to its judgment should be in 90 days with effect from the judgment. And every other state is conducting elections to ensure that they comply with this directive. Why should Rivers State be different?
First of all, it's a big lie and a deceit to the people of Nigeria. And it's shameful when people make this statement, especially leaders we hold on high esteem, come and say Supreme Court said that they must do election under 3 months. There was nothing like that in the certified true copy that is with you there in your studio. Your studio had the certified true copy. The judgment of court delivered on the 11th of July by the Supreme Court, by the grace of God, I was seated in court on that day. I made sure every of that case from the day the first hearing and all the hearings and the day the judgment, I was in court in Abuja myself. There was no such thing in that judgment.
Okay.
Now, to even make the matter, hold on, let me answer. You asked 3 questions in one, so I just answered one. Now, the second one is that why will it not be the governor when the governor who is the man who swore to the oath to protect the lives and property of Rivers State people have said, knowing that Nigeria is a state that is running one security structure from the federation, to say that he does not want police, he does not want any security from the federation. There is no state police in Nigeria as we speak. So it meant that the governor already had his militias that he had made arrangements with, which we have seen on videos. If you look at the video trending, that when the chairman, he said he wrote his name and announced in government house, came to the council, he came with guys, they were shooting guns, covering their face in masks. And when the chairman, Israel Abossi, the former campaign manager of Atiku Abubakar in Rivers State, stood on top of his vehicle, he saw a young man carrying AK-47 with 5 magazines, shooting periodically on the air, dancing and singing that they have burnt down the office that my legacy that I'm proud of, that they don't want to have anything to do with my legacies anymore. But even to the public listening to you, my sister, you will see clearly from onset that other states who are conducting local government election followed the rules. What is the rule? How can a state court go and say they are giving ruling or injunction to parties that are not part of a suit? That is the issue. The right place the governor had to go was Court of Appeal, when the competent of court, the Court of Content Jurisdiction, who had to do with the police, which is a federal agency, INEC, which is a federal agency, DSS, which is a federal agency, is in Abuja. And he sent senior advocates of Nigeria. They were part of the case. They had all the issue and they dragged the case from July till October. And when that ruling was given, till September, when that ruling was given, they were called, they said they were appealing that judgment, and they've appealed the judgment. And if you have appealed the judgment, for me, as soon as they appealed that judgment, I saw no reason staying around. I had to come to Harvard to do my program.
So Dr. Wanosike, I think, Dr. Wanosike, kindly hold on. I think the governor's main position was that the Supreme Court says there must be local government election. I mean, after all, you as well as your former colleagues, that is former chairman, had decried Governor Fubara for not conducting elections at the termination of your term. So what then was the uproar about the October 5th election? Couldn't your party and supporters, or even you, get on the line for the race?
No, you cannot do something or nothing and you expect it to stand. First of all, the Constitution does not allow me, Dr. Wanosike, to contest for a top 10. The only reason why our tenures were extended was because the governor refused to give proper notice of election.
So at the point when the governor now decided to conduct a local government election, what then was the problem?
Fine, the governor refused to follow his own laws, the laws that created the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, that says that the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission must give a proper notice of election. And the Electoral Act is clear of how many days you can give notice for election. And the governor is aware that if you don't give proper notice of election, parties have the right to say, we are not going to participate because you did not give, but you cannot wake up in 2-3 days and say we should come and do election. Election is not an event, it's a process. And again, for us to say, like I said, the Supreme Court said you cannot have caretaker. You must have an elected government. All the governor needed to do was to give a proper notice of election and say, I have given a proper notice of election. The election will hold based on our laws on so number of days. Why is the governor panicking over the allocation going to the local government? What is his business over the allocation going to the local government? If he says that he wanted to do the proper thing and he gives the proper notice of election, like it is required by law, and we go ahead and conduct that election, the governor knows that nobody will challenge that. But the truth of the matter is that the governor feels that he's above the law and that he has immunity and that we're living in a banana republic and that nobody can stop him from doing whatever he wants to do. But unfortunately to him,
Dr. Wanasike,
that we are in a constitutional democracy.
So some lawyers are listening to you and they're wondering why you continue to blame the governor. Because you have just said this is a case of solving illegalities with illegalities. So rather than blame the governor, why wouldn't you blame the judiciary?
No, the judiciary has no problem. The judiciary will only rule on matters that come to them, including you that is anchoring this program today. If you go to the judiciary, that TVC that you work with has been unfair to you on A, B, C, D. The judiciary will rule based on the laws that employed you in TVC. Even as a worker of TVC, if other workers decide to keep quiet, the judiciary will not give somebody what he did not ask for. And the lawyers know that. What we are saying is that the governor has no right to conduct an election that he will sit down in government house and write results. Everybody in Rivers State saw what happened in that day. No voting, no monitoring of results, no result sheet. Even till now, the names that were announced, have you asked them how many votes did they score? Which party came second? Which party came third? Apart from APC and PDP that boycotted the election because APC went to court, it was only APC that went to court. What of other political parties that contested in that election? What were their scores?
I wanted to know the role.
Excuse me, madam. You carry the SEC chairman to government house, you put the microphone before him, and he starts reading out results. And he gets to the 23rd local government and says, no, that there's a problem there, that what is happening, that they couldn't do collation, that for that they will wait a little. At the next 30 minutes or 1 hour, they say another political party has won. The question is, on what results did they win? How many scores did they get per ward? This is an election that happened from polling units. Results come from polling units, collected at the ward, transmitted to the LGA. So where are those results? Where are those elections? Where are the voting? We have 23 local governments in Rivers State. You sit down in front of somebody's compound, guided by your Amama soldiers, and you light them up and you say that they have voted. My sister, Nigerians know the truth. Problem that happened in Rivers State was orchestrated by the governor of Rivers State, and his actions further. Okay, look at the statement he made.
Dr. Wanasike, for the purpose of this conversation, kindly hold on, sir. For the purpose of this conversation, I wouldn't want you to make allegations that you cannot substantiate on this program tonight. I wanted to know the role the judiciary may have played in this crisis, because we've heard former President Jonathan cautioning both political camps, your faction and the governor's faction, and specifically pointed out the case of conflicting court orders and how the judiciary must do better. And if not checked, it may ridicule the institution of the judiciary and derail our democracy. So is this something that should bother every Nigerian?
First of all, it's not correct that a court of competent jurisdiction gave a judgment and the governor will come to a national television, no matter how painful that judgment was to him, and say that the judgment was a corrupt judgment and that the man that gave the judgment was a corrupt judiciary officer. That is leveling Nigerians before the international community that we are all corrupt. That is the problem we have. I am here in Cambridge. It is a matter of discussion. The president is busy going around the world trying to launder our image. Yet, likes of the governor of Rivers State is busy destroying the image because of his personal gain. because he wants his cronies, like he seized our allocation for 3 months and gave it to his cronies in the name of caretaker committee, even when we are screaming to high heaven that there are judgments from Supreme Court that say that caretaker is illegal in different places. He refused to adhere. He went ahead, even when Supreme Court gave that ruling, he went ahead to say the CPC must continue, that they will continue until he conducts election. Maybe your reporters did not tell you that fact. That even to the day of election, the election he said he conducted, that he was still recognizing the caretaker committee and still giving them funds belonging to the local government. Why is the funds belonging to the local government a warrant to the governor of Rivers State, where he has federal allocation and he has high internally generated revenue? The point you are making, it is not true. It's not a judiciary problem. The governor is manipulating the judiciary at the state level because he believes he has control over them. And that's what we are saying.
You know, Dr. Wanosike, the governor has spoken. The governor has spoken, and I would like you to react to some of the allegations, but with caution. If not, I would interject and I wouldn't allow you land with your thoughts. The governor has alleged that your people, that your faction has marked down other local councils for destruction. And I'm here wondering why anyone would destroy buildings erected worth millions of naira with taxpayers' money because of politics. So how do you react to this allegation?
I want to ask you a question. If the governor did not ask the police and the ID to stay away from the local government election and the local government activities, and the police were highly fully involved, would all these issues be happening? Would it have happened? You know the truth. Even you that is conducting this interview with me, you know the truth.
But really, maybe you're misinterpreting the governor. Did he really say that the police should leave?
Play back the tape, let Nigerians watch. Please, play it back now so that they can watch. Maybe you have not watched it. The governor went to Siek at the wee hour of the night. It's trending on X and Instagram and in Facebook. The governor went at the wee hours of the night and asked the Nigerian police to leave the Siek, that Siek was his property, and that he does not need the Nigerian police to provide security for all the local government activities moving forward. What else do you expect us to say, madam? It is the governor that orchestrated this crisis. First, he refused to obey. So
you're not answering my question, Dr. Wanosike. The governor alleged that your people, that your faction has marked down other council areas for destruction. So how true is this? Because if I'm to flick this question, Governor Wike has consistently said Governor Fubara's refusal to obey court order, court judgments is invariably inviting anarchy. With what we saw on Saturday through Monday, is it logical for anyone to say those miscreants acted on their own based on what the minister had said, especially because days before we had seen your supporters with placards inscribed with "No Wike, no reverse"?
I want to ask you a question, man. If a criminal comes to attack your premises and he is screaming the name of your next door neighbor that you are in disagreement with, and he attacks your premises and loots and destroys your place, does it mean that it's your neighbor that orchestrated that crisis? These are elementary things that you should be the one interpreting for the people of Rivers State. If the police were present, no miscreant will near any government facility. If the governor had obeyed the court decision, and because he had had the courage with his student advocate that he brought, the best of his kind in Nigeria, to appeal the case in Court of Appeal, why didn't the governor wait and allow the Court of Appeal rule? Why didn't he wait? If the Court of Appeal had said, yes, the governor was right to go ahead and conduct the election, and that police should provide security, INEC should provide voters register to them, would we have been in this situation now? We will not. Everything stops on the table of the governor. He is the chief security officer. He is the same person that asks the security architecture to go to hell and go to blazes. That he has his own security architecture to manage the 23 local governments in Rivers State. And we have seen where we are now. In fact, he has even gone further to say he knows those who carried out the crime. In fact, in China's television, he even accused me, and it was laughable. I'm not around. I've not been in Nigeria since 27th of September. To date, I am still here where I'm studying, and you're accusing me who did my best to leave a legacy for my people. The only thing that is standing for me, you have to burn it down so that there will nothing be remembered. And you quickly drove from the airport with dance groups to go and inspect the instruction your team has done on your behalf. Well, for us, we know that there is a day that the law will say enough is enough for this rascality. And we are waiting patiently.
Dr. Wanisike, so quickly, in a minute, let's quickly listen to a clip where the governor addressed this issue with the police. I'll be right back to continue this conversation.
To find out why would such a thing happen. From what I heard, that DC operation brought them here to withdraw the policemen that are already here protecting this place, so that new officers will take over the place. But I have to say this on a very strong note. We've been taking enough nonsense from this institution. Everybody is aware of the court judgment, and even the judgment as they call it, the ruling. Did the ruling specify anywhere that election should not hold? He said, don't give voters register. What are we doing with it? Okay, police, don't provide security. Don't provide security. Is this the same thing as blocking the election? I don't know what the relationship between Inspector General of Police and one person who claims he has so much power in this state. I don't know the relationship, because it's beginning to go beyond the normal professional relationship.
So, Dr. Wanisike, that was the governor accusing the police of bias. So he did not outrightly say that the police should leave. You may want to react to that. I'm sure you heard that, right?
I don't know the clip you played. I don't know the clip you played for people, because you didn't allow me to watch it. It is not correct. The clip of when everybody in Nigeria is aware of what happened. The governor went there. The clip is there. If you want, I can send it to you once again, because everybody has it. The clip where the governor came by the night and said clearly.
So that was the same clip you played, Dr. Wanisike. That was the same clip.
If it's the same clip you played, it was clear. He said, I have taken enough from the Inspector General of Police, who says he's working with one man that claims he's too powerful from this state. I don't need the police. He said so. He said that he will provide his own security.
So are you saying he should have handled, are you saying the governor should have handled that better?
Of course, if he had obeyed the court judgment of the Federal High Court, because police is a federal agency, the INEC is a federal agency, the GSS is a federal agency, so the competent court is the Federal High Court. And again, it's not as if the governor and his team did not participate in that judgment, in that litigation. They participated from July till end of September, and a judgment was given. Because the judgment was not given in his favor, he decided to say the judgment was corrupt. But the judgment given in his favor at the State High Court are not corrupt. So if the governor have obeyed the court judgment, and why did the governor go ahead with it after he has got to appeal? When he has filed the appeal, if he did not have the intention to create mayhem in Rivers State, you see, let me tell you the activities of this our governor. He claims he's gentle. Please don't cut me off. He claims he's gentle, but a night to the crisis that happened in the assembly, that when he wanted to impeach the speaker that failed, he and his colleagues, his cronies, destroyed the House of Assembly. After police started investigation, he pulled it down because he doesn't want the investigation to go ahead. Now, we are saying of that, he went to report us to Mr. President. The President invited all of us as the father of the nation and gave a condition of peace and asked him, are you going to agree? He agreed. He said in all the 8 items he agreed. He signed. And at the end of the day, we all shook hands and came back to Rivers State. As soon as we came to the next morning, he sponsored people to go to court, abused Mr. President, including one Chijoke on the national in front of Government House, called Mr. President all manner of names, and threatened Mr. President that Rivers is not legal. And still that was not enough. Mr. Governor and all his leaders who went to court against Mr. President's decision decided not to obey those issues that has been agreed.
All right.
So that's the kind of governor that you have. He will create a problem.
But overall, as a stakeholder, Dr. Wanisike, as a stakeholder, how are you contributing to finding, I mean, I just realized that you're not in Nigeria, but how are you contributing to finding the miscreants who carried out this behavior? Are you worried that this may perhaps be the new template going forward? and the danger it poses for Rivers people. And I'm asking that question because opposition lawmakers coalition spokesperson, that's Onwike Gochinyere, has called on the federal government and relevant security agencies to ensure that the Minister of FCT, Onwike, and his supporters face justice over alleged burning of the local government headquarters in Rivers State. He says you and your people did it to jeopardize governance in the state. Gochinyere is also saying it is a must for Governor Fubara to probe you and your colleagues.
You know, one has to do with that young man from Imo State. I find it very, very insulting to respond to him because it's so shameful that we still call such a person a lawmaker. That is a man that came before his colleagues and said he had paid everybody in the National Assembly, that nobody can remove him, nobody can dissolve his committee. When National Assembly had the issue to resolve in the Dangote refinery saga. That is the kind of person you want me to respond to. So see, the point is clear. I will never respond to such a character. I won't glorify him. The truth of the matter is that I am not the governor of Rivers State. I am not the commissioner of police. So I was not in Nigeria when these issues were happening. So I have no role to play. I am just an unfortunate Rivers man that voted for a man that deceived me, that he is quiet, calm, and he is ready to govern Rivers State. Only for us to see that he is a man who is even more rascally than those who...
Dr. Wanosike, I asked you that question because you're a stakeholder, and Ikwere local government was also affected in this arson that just took place some days ago. This was a local government you just chaired. So that's why I'm asking you that question. How are you, in your own little way, contributing to making sure that the miscreants who did this face justice?
Don't worry. Like I told my followers and those who sympathize with me, who knew the effort I have put in to rebuild that council, who knew the story of my local government council and what we have done, that everybody should be patient. The law will take its course. You see, like Mr. President said in his case, in his release through his spokesperson, he said, there is nothing in politics that the judiciary cannot resolve. We will not take the laws in our hand. We will be patient. We will wait for all the cases to be resolved, and as soon as those cases are resolved, a proper panel of inquiry, not this one that is set up to hurriedly cover tracks, will be set up and unravel a lot of people, including the likes of the young man from Imo State you mentioned, because we have seen clearly that he is part of the crisis that we have in Rivers State. In fact, it's Gochinyere himself that is making the governor take the actions he's taking, because there is no court judgment that has come from Nigeria judiciary that Gochinyere has not attacked. And I ask myself, in what capacity is Nigerians keeping, what capacity is judiciary keeping quiet for such a man? What is capacity that he is a member of House of Reps? Is he the first member of House of Reps that he will be interpreting, including Supreme Court judgments? Well, this is the Nigeria we live. Today, we have an acting chief judge of the nation. And we are watching what steps the judiciary will take. So that you have immunity, will not make you destroy our country.
You know, we heard that, Dr. Wanosike, we heard that your faction and some APC members are condemning Governor Fubara, who, as a PDP governor, sponsored APP, an opposition party, to defeat his party in that local government election. And you've called it anti-party activities and that it should be sanctioned by the national leadership of the PDP. Is this correct?
What is more anti-party than that? What is more anti-party than that? That a governor who is flying the flag of the People's Democratic Party, who run election under the umbrella of People's Democratic Party, will boldly and publicly come and say that I'm sponsoring another political party to run local government election and win election in all the councilorships, 312 councilorship seats, and 23 local government seats in Rivers State, because he didn't want to be patient to follow the rule of law. What is the desperation?
You know, Honorable Solomon Bob tried to...
Hold on, please, man. I ask again. What is the desperation about the local government finances to this governor? Why is he too much of a worry for him to put his cronies? If he has followed the judiciary, the steps the judiciary we are going, even we, who assembly extended our tenure, we said we will not take actions that will impugn on the image of the judiciary. Even when courts at the state level gave judgments against us, we never came on air to embarrass or say things about them. We never, even when the police shut down our offices, we never came on air to say this is what the institutions of government in this nation we are doing against us. Because it's a democracy. And even once you're a national platform like me and you we are now, the entire world is watching and listening to us.
But you know, Dr. Wanosike, it's still very confusing. It's still very confusing for some of us who are outsiders, because Honorable Solomon Bob tried to explain the difference to me, but it was not convincing. What is the difference between what Governor Fubara did and what former Governor Wike did? Do you agree that going by Minister Wike's political standing, he should have led by example by leaving the party or staying neutral? It should not be hard for you to agree that what goes around comes around, isn't it?
That is not correct. Governor Wike never left the party. But what happened in our party was clear. Our party constitution, we have breached, and we made it. It was not a day. You were here in Nigeria. Every day we were telling the leadership of our party, before this election, after our primaries, you have ample time to correct the misnomer that you have created. You can't have the national chairman and the candidate of the party come from the same zone. It is not in our constitution.
So this is my question to you.
Hold on.
No, kindly hold on, Dr. Wanosike. So this is my question to you. Based on that, whatever Minister Wike was thinking about at that time, I'm saying that he should have left the party instead of engaging in anti-party activities. That's what I'm saying. But you're saying to me tonight that these are different situations. How so?
No, it's not different. Don't even say, listen, there was no anti-party situation. We did not sponsor any candidate in any political party. The difference. We did not.
So that's the only difference.
Hold on. Now you ask the question. So allow me, if you ask him question, this program can move.
Okay.
Now, we did not sponsor a candidate for election. That's the point you're trying to tell you. We are saying that if you don't correct the misnomer you have created in our party, that we, as a people, will stand with the decision of the South-South. And what is the decision of South-South? President Buhari has finished 8 years as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And power has to come back to the South. And we have a Southerner in the ballot. And so, if you don't correct this abnormality now, that our people will vote a Southern candidate come in that election. We didn't sponsor President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We did not.
Dr. Wanosike, you see, that story is not new.
In this situation,
kindly hold on and listen to me, sir. You see, that story you're painting tonight.
Sponsored APT. He sponsored. That's the point. That's the difference.
I hear you, sir. And that story you're painting to us now is not new. Nigerians know about that story. But the definition of anti-party is what you're trying to redefine to us tonight. Perhaps you're confirming the speculation in some quarters that indeed Nyesom Wike appears to be bigger than the PDP. And that's why he gets away with a lot of things and Fubara has just stepped into the same shoe.
I want to ask you a question. Those who are saying that Nyesom Wike did anti-party, they should tell us how many members of the National Assembly and senators that they elected during that election. The governor that ran under People's Democratic Party, APC, fought us to Supreme Court via Toye Code. Even when we told our people that presidential power must come back to the South, we made sure our party won all the other elections, the 3 senatorial seats, the House of Rep seats, and the governorship, and the other elections that were evolving. The truth of the matter is that a lot of people who come and talk, say all the things they say today, they have nothing to offer the People's Democratic Party, and they know the truth. I think the leaders of PDP do not know those that have the capacity to offer them victory at election.
Okay. So your party is heading to court.
Look at what happened. Hold on. Look at what happened at Edo State. Look at what happened at Edo State. The same scenario played out at Edo State. Edo State, the same people who are busy going around to gang up against former Governor Boye Sowike, the current Minister of FCT, rather than sit down and work to deliver our party. They sat back and they were doing group meetings from state to state. And they have lost opposition in Edo State. Is it that is the point?
Well, I still don't get the point. But your party is heading to court. So for now, is it right to say that the minister is struggling to get back or preserve his political structure, which he has been doing all he can to protect? Because for some PDP stakeholders, the outcome of that election has shown an end to political intimidation in Rivers State.
Which election are you talking about?
The local government election.
Why then the local government election? You have reporters. I am asking, I'm challenging you on national television. Let your reporters come and show us results of election from polling units to what? From what to local government, and display to Nigerians within the next 24 hours. The candidates that came second, third, fourth, fifth, they have said that over 16 political parties participated in that election. We just saw an election in Edo State. At least we witnessed result collation from units to ward. They should show us. Is that an election? That is selection, and a selection that has been done before now. And you sit down to announce the result, and you say you have done an election. What election did you do? You want to do an election. Follow the principles of that election. Your same law that says you must give proper notice of election, INEC must give you voters register, and police will provide security for every Rivers person to have the confidence to come and vote without fear of being intimidated or attacked. It's democracy. And you must have observers, both internal and external, to observe the election. It's not an election that you sit down in government house and you announce results and you say, who do you win? Can the governor, as he seated there, tell you that he can win election in his senatorial district?
You know, Dr. Wanasike, perhaps if the PDP and the APC had not stepped down, we may be having a different conversation tonight. Even the president has said, if you're displeased with that election, please go to court. But how do you react to the president's intervention? And I'm also wondering, what more can the president do at this point? Because on 2 different occasions, if not 3, the president had waded in, but both factions threw caution in the wind. Now, some of you say the president is too silent. Governor Fubara is saying he's concerned the president only mentioned his name. The Niger National Congress, on the other hand, is asking the president to pay close attention to political development in Rivers State to avert breakdown. The president has spoken. What does it mean to you?
Please, you see, that's the point now. You are bringing a Niger National Congress into this discussion. You've worsened the matter. This is a Congress, a people.
They released a statement.
Hold on. Let me tell you why. They just conducted their local election, Ijo Youth Congress election in Rivers State.
No, this is not Rivers State. This is Ijo Congress worldwide.
I am coming now. Okay. Ijo Congress worldwide, they are the ones that supervise that process. How did it end? It ended in bloodshed and shooting of machine gun and killing of their own sons in that process, in a local ethnic election. So I don't want to go there. I have nothing against them, and I don't want to join issues with them. Now, don't also misquote Mr. President. That Mr. President say whoever is not happy with the election should go. No, Mr. President never said so. Mr. President said every leader, irrespective of how highly placed you are, should obey the rule of law. And Mr. President was referring to the judgment of court that were flattered by the governor of Rivers State. Do you know why the governor was scared of allowing PDP contest in that election? Because he knows that he will not win one local government. He's aware. If he gave the proper notice of election, I speaking to you will not be here. I will define my program. I will be on ground to make sure Ikwere people see truth to the candidate you will present. Because I will not run that election because I'm bound by constitution to run. So the point I am making, don't misquote Mr. President. Mr. President is aware that we are running a constitutional democracy and that we don't have state police yet. So how can a governor come and say, I don't need your security? Inspector General of Police, I don't need your security. I will provide my own security. And listen, let me tell you.
So, Dr. Wanosike, I have not...
Result to be written, result to be announced. That's what the governor said, and it's on tape, on video.
So I have not misquoted. I have not misquoted, Mr. President. I mean, what you just said now is your own understanding of what the president said. But the governor has pleaded on live television. Governor Fubara has pleaded on live television. He says he wants peace and has asked Governor Wike to allow him govern the state rather. He says it is time for governance and that when election comes, it will be time to wrestle it out again. I mean, which is very reasonable. He says he's willing to do everything for peace to reign. He says you all are taking his meekness for granted. So as we speak, what must give way for both parties to allow Rivers people breathe?
Please don't be misled by the words that you people are taking my weakness, my meekness for weakness. It's not correct.
But Dr. Wanosike, you said earlier that the governor is a gentle person. You said it.
Hold on. He's pretending. You get my words. I said he pretended that he was gentle. He pretended that he was meek. Meanwhile, inside him, he is worse than the rascals we know.
But isn't that typical of every Nigerian politician?
The governor has not pleaded with anybody. You ask a question, you won't even allow me to talk. That's the point. And you're in control of the show. So if you ask me a question, man, you allow me to explain. And the governor come and tell people that it's a lie from the pit of hell. That governor that told you that jungle has matured, that governor that told you that you should cock the gun and eliminate people, the same governor that said he had bought rat poison to kill the rats that is eating the bag of beans, the same governor that told you that he would do everything, that even if it means doing anything that he would do to make sure he will not need that to beg anybody. He said so. Maybe he's forgetting the things he said. He says one thing yesterday, today he will forget that he's on record. Look, we live in a modern world, madam. Now, even whatever me and you say here today can be replayed 20 years after. So, if the governor wanted peace, the only way to peace was to obey the Federal High Court judgment and wait patiently for the appeal he instituted. He instituted by his instructions, his lawyer went to Court of Appeal. A gentleman was okay, I have gone to court. My supporters, be patient. Okay, let's just say, madam, let's play this scenario. Let's say that the governor gives proper notice for election, and it takes 2-3 months for that process to finish. It takes 3 months or thereabouts for the election the process to finish, and they don't release a local government allocation. It's with the federation account for that 3 months. The money will still be returned back to the state, to the local government after the proper thing has been done. If the governor has done the proper thing by giving the proper notice of election, do you think even the PDP that we have, they would have had any reason of staying away from that election? Who wouldn't have? Because the people will ask you, in what place has the governor done wrong? He has given the proper notice of election. Look at the governor based on desperation. He's lying that Supreme Court said he must do election in 3 months' time. Madam, I challenge you before Nigerians and the international community. Show us in the CTC copy of the Supreme Court judgment of 11th of July, where Supreme Court says he's given a window of 3 months. If you say so, I will own up every allegation against me.
So, Madam. Dr. Wanosike, you have not answered my question again.
I have answered your question, madam.
So, my question was...
What is going to be peace? Is it not true? You asked me that the governor says he's going to do everything for peace. And I said it's not true. The governor is deceiving you and other Nigerians. It's not true. The governor, if he wants peace, he doesn't need to go and beg former Governor Wike. What is his role in the election? He's in Abuja. Did he come home? No. What the governor would have done was okay. Federal High Court has given a judgment. I will appeal the judgment. He goes to Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal will rule one way or the other. Maybe they rule against him or they rule in his favor. If they rule in his favor, he will go ahead with the process. If they rule against him, he still has the Supreme Court to go to. When he gets to the Supreme Court, and all these issues can happen under 1 month. That's what we're saying. So why become desperate in a public service?
All right.
What's the issue?
Sadly, we have to end this conversation here tonight. But again and again, it is important that every stakeholder in Rivers State embraces peace, so Rivers people can enjoy the true dividends of democracy. And I hope everyone listens to the president this time around. Thank you so much for joining us.
Let me say this, ma. Let me say, no, hold on. Before you go, ma, please allow me, please. Let me say this. I'm out of this country. Let me say this, ma. Ma, please. We want the governor to understand that this is democracy and that democracy is guided by law. That democracy is guided by law.
All right, Dr. Samuel Wanosike, former chairman, Ikwere Local Government Area. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and thank you very much for joining us, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight, but you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at midnight. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG, and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Good night, everyone.
It's the Taste the Millions promo with 250 million naira worth of cash and prizes to be won to win. Buy any of the new promotional packs. Take one empty sachet of the Onga 90Q pack or 2 empty sachets of the Onga 50Q pack to the collection center and exchange the sachets for a scratch card. Scratch the card to reveal a unique code. Text the code to 13933. Promo runs from September to October 2024. Visit www.ongamillionspromo.com.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Tired of pans that scratch and stick? Or cookware that takes up valuable space in your kitchen? Introducing ShopX Gotham Hammered Copper Collection, the perfect cookware to upgrade your cooking experience. The Gotham Hammered Copper Collection features a super durable ultra non-stick surface. Eggs stick to other pans, but with the Hammered Copper Collection, they slide right out. Incredible! It's oven safe up to 500 degrees. Any recipe can be made in these pans, and then it wipes clean with ease. Make mouth-watering jollof rice or even fluffy pounder with ease, because nothing sticks.
I needed a cookware to keep up with me. The Gotham Hammered Collection has been a game changer. No more burnt meals or hours spent scrubbing pots.
You would normally pay up to 400,000 naira for the 10-piece Gotham Hammered collection, but call the number on your screen now or scan the QR code and get the entire collection for not 350,000 naira, not even 300,000 naira, but for just 264,950 naira. Incredible! This incredible ShopX offer includes one 8.5 inches fry pan, one 10.25 inches fry pan, one 1.4 liter saucepan, one 2.4 liter saucepan, one 4.7 liter stock pot, one stainless steel steamer, 4 tempered glass lids. But wait, there's more. If you order now, we will upgrade you to the 15-piece Gotham Hammered collection at no extra charge, and also include one cookie sheet, one round baking pan, one square baking pan, one loaf pan and muffin pan, all for just 264,950 naira only. And that's not all. If you order right now, we will also add a free gift to your order. This special gift includes a peeler that peels potatoes and vegetables in an instant, a pair of kitchen scissors, and 4 knives engineered with super steel that can cut through anything. And we're still not done. If you order now, you can get the ShopX Gotham Hammered collection along with your free gift in 2 easy payments of 132,475 naira. That's right, pay twice and get this ultimate kitchen solution. Amazing! Place your order now and we'll deliver the entire collection for free anywhere you are in Nigeria. But hurry, this exclusive ShopX TV offer is for a limited time only. So, call now while stock lasts. Elevate your kitchen experience today.
The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV. Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking it.
And now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akuga as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, Mamode Akuga. The Rivers State Local Council election, which many describe as a battle for the soul of the state, was held and concluded over the weekend, despite several twists that almost derailed the process. Already, the governor, Sir Siminalayi Fubara, last Sunday swore in the new